What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Let's explore something that we asked Nick about a little bit right there, which was this idea of a John Metchie trade. He's having a very good preseason. Of course, Metchie, coming out of Alabama, battles leukemia, comes back, doesn't do a ton last season, but I mean, coming off of battling leukemia, that's not any surprise. And he's done very well. Like I said, this preseason, he's been a dynamic playmaker. However, the Texans, just having an embarrassment of riches at this point, after trading for Stephon Diggs, now have Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. I mean, one of the most exciting receiving cores in the entire NFL. Metchie is their fourth best receiver, so he represents a bit of value to them.
They also have like Noah Brown on that, who Taylor's going to know from Dallas. So even like you can keep going down the list.
God, they got a lot of. A lot of good.
Robert
players.
Woods is still, if I'm not mistaken, still on that roster as well.
Insanity, right? So instead of releasing Metchie, the Texans are, trying to dangle him out there, see if anybody wants him. Do you agree with Nick's assertion that he is not? Because okay, well, I'll give you my initial reaction. When I heard this, I would say, yeah, this is exactly what the Saints need, because they might have the most boring wide receiver room in the NFL. There's just not a lot there. Really nothing outside of Chris Olave. I'm very down on Rashid Shaheed compared to what my offseason hopes were for him, given the injuries and whatnot. But I don't think this is going to happen because, again, the Saints have been relatively conservative this offseason. They seem to be hitting a reset button of sorts, and giving up draft capital for immediate help would be at odds with every other action they've taken this offseason. Also, you look at teams whose windows are maybe a bit more open, be it like the Ravens or some of the other teams that are being bandied about here, and they could drive up the price on this. So I thought it would make a lot of sense. I don't think it will happen. Do you agree, though, with Nick's assertion, Jake, that it's a bit too samey? That you're just getting another small, fast guy in this team. That's all they have right now are small, fast guys.
So I think if I had the option to be picky, yes, I would agree, but I don't think you have that option. I think if you have a talent out there and you could get him for what you consider on the cheap, then I think you have to explore that, because your receiver room is just not good right now. Like, we don't even know past Chris Olave because Shaheed's been injured. And after that, we have no idea. Even people that cover the Saints every single day, like they do over at New Orleans Football, they do a better job than anybody else. They don't right now know who the 3, 4, 5. Like, they're guessing and like projecting because nobody's taken that job.
Yeah.
Like, I think A.T. Perry's done more than others, but you hear the coaching staff talk about A.T. Perry, and apparently he's not a good practice player, right? And so, like, that's the knock on him. I would take any talent that I can get right now. Like, if you give me Metchie and I give you a late-round draft choice, absolutely, let's do it. I need talent. I would love to have, like we talked about it earlier with the LSU tight end room, all three of those guys, super talented. All three of those guys, different skill sets. All three of those guys, different body types. You love that. You wish you had running back room at LSU, same situation. Yeah. All those guys are different, okay? You like to have that, but if you don't have that option, you know what you better have? Talent. You better have a Jimmy and a Joe to go out there, and no matter what their skill set is, at least they have a skill set that can be NFL level, NFL ready. And it seems like Metchie is a guy that, he was a high draft choice, battled leukemia to come back and play football. Shows you, what the game means to him. And I think he's uber talented. If you can get him, you can't be choosy. Go get him.
So what would be a price that you would deem acceptable where you're not? Can you get above a four? Would you go above a fourth rounder?
I give him a fourth rounder. I think he is still a young football player. I think you still would have him. It still would be, I think, a future move. It wouldn't just be for right now. Like, you would have multiple years.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I was a bit confused about. Is Nick's kind of framing it as a short term, but like, he's on the second year of a rookie deal. Was he a first-round pick?
This will be the third year, so you'd have this year and next year.
Okay. but still a price that would probably not be driven up too high, maybe in terms of striking a second deal if things went well.
So he was a second-round pick, so he probably signed a 4-year deal.
Yeah, so it's going to be 4 years.
This will be the third year of that deal, but you still, again, you'd have this year, next year, and also, like, you would have the ability to re-sign him.
Yeah,
like you would have.
That's what I'm saying. And the
you
price
would be on the forefront
wouldn't
of
be too
of
crazy
teams on
if
his
it
mind.
went well.
No.
All right. So look, maybe the Saints end up exploring Metchie. Maybe the price gets driven too high.
It seems for me, it seems way more exciting than going to get a Tim Patrick, who I mentioned. I mentioned Tim Patrick because it sounds like the Broncos, if they can't find a trade partner for him, they're going to release him. And he is the different body type. He is 6'4", he is 215. But this is somebody that has battled injuries throughout his career. And I'm not just going to sign a Tim Patrick because he's 6'4", 215, because Metchie's 5'11".
Yeah.
Like, I think Metchie's the more skilled player.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to add skill right now because I don't have the ability to go and handpick what I want.
God, Tim Patrick's got to be an all-time boring name. Like, top 5 all-time.
Yeah.
Tim Patrick? What? That's crazy. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.